Welcome. This is Swampy Sports Podcast. As you can tell, we are not in the 11:30 Tiger Studios today because I am in Oklahoma City visiting a bunch of my old college friends, catching up with them. But we got some big news in the NFL, especially today. A CBS Sports reports that Jerry Jones is not dead set on Tony Romo being a starting quarterback anymore. I guess after seeing that great performance that Dak Prescott had against the Packers in Green Bay, I guess it finally changed his mind. That did. Which, a crazy performance for just the Cowboys in general as they go into Lambeau and take down Aaron Rodgers and the Packers 30-16. Dak Prescott, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. His first interception in 140-something attempts. Ezekiel Elliott still going off. Offensive line looking great. Right now, the Cowboys are like my 5th best team in the NFL right now. And we took a poll on Twitter on 11:30 The Tiger, and the question was, are the Cowboys a Super Bowl contending team after their win in Green Bay? 90% of y'all said yes, and 10% of the idiots out there said no. It's just this offensive line is finally clicking now. And with that being, when you have an offensive line that clicks and a defense that can make stops, and how Morris Claiborne is actually playing decently well now. He can't tackle worth a crap, but his coverages are decent. They're great. That secondary is doing great. Sean Lee's still not injured. Their only question mark is their defensive line. And so with this, Tony Romo, when he's healthy, he's great. He's a great quarterback, but he never can stay healthy. And they've never had a quarterback that can hold down the fort. And now they have him in rookie, hot and zone, Dak Prescott. And with how he's been playing, it's absurd how well he has been playing. Prescott, he went 18 for 27, 247 yards, and 3 touchdowns against that Packer defense. It's crazy how poised he is. Then another rookie who's incredible this year, Ezekiel Elliott, 28 carries, 157 yards that game. Elliott's a leading rusher in the NFL. Dak Prescott, his numbers are superb for a rookie and for most quarterbacks in general. 125 completions out of 182 attempts. 68% completion rating with 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, and an 84.7 quarterback rating. You see, I know Tony Romo is an amazing. He's up there, one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he's healthy. When he was back a couple of years ago, and I know he's done so much for this franchise. So much. Winning Super Bowls, but still with everything like that being said, with but Dak Prescott gives you the best chance to win.
Is how Edward Jones
and isn't that what you're supposed to do with an NFL franchise? Is win, do what's right for you to win. Because you see, that's what the Patriots do. They do whatever it takes to win. They don't have Tom Brady, but they do whatever it takes to win. 3 out of 4 games they don't have him. Then when he was in, it's crazy how much they win. So with Dak Prescott leading that offense, being an incredible game manager, and not turning the ball over, how do you go to Tony Romo, who, yes, I guess you could say he's earned his starting position, but with Dak's performance, don't you think he deserves a chance to earn that starting position? When I hear people talking about this, and I hear both sides. I hear people, the very biased Dak Prescott fans from around the Shreveport area here saying Dak Prescott needs to play. Yes, he's doing great. Then you also got to hear from the people who support Romo. Because Romo is a veteran. Romo has been there before. Prescott looks like he's been there before, but he really hasn't. Just, he went up against the Green Bay defense and did great. He did phenomenal. But then you have to think to the point of Tony Romo, who knows so much more than Dak Prescott does. And Dak Prescott's so much more younger. That's why he's not getting hurt when he gets sacked. But Tony Romo tries so much to keep the play going and going. But when that happens, he ends up getting hurt. But you cannot be mad at the decision of Tony Romo coming back, because if he does get hurt, you still have Dak Prescott to fall on. Then I did hear this interesting thing from Donovan McNabb, talking on NFL Network, talking about how the Cowboys should trade Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. Because if you think about it, Dez Bryant hasn't been playing hardly, and they're still winning. Their leading receiver in Terrence Williams. So I personally think without Dez Bryant, just like with Adrian Peterson in the Vikings, I think the offense is better without him. Because just like with Adrian Peterson in the Vikings, I think just because he's Adrian Peterson, he requires a certain amount of plays that the ball hand off to him. And I feel that's the same way with Bryant. He will start throwing a little fit if he doesn't get the ball thrown to him like 5 or 6 times a game, if he's open and stuff like that. And Dak Prescott spreads the ball around. That's why he doesn't turn the ball over. He looks at all of his options. He doesn't try to force anything if it doesn't need to be forced. And that's why he only has 1 interception through the first 8 games, 7 games, 6 games, whatever it is. So I think that this is a great opportunity for the Cowboys to be like a Bill Belichick, for Jason Garrett to be like Bill Belichick. Because isn't that what the standard is in the NFL right now? Bill Belichick, isn't that what you want to thrive to be like? Have your team like the Patriots, constantly winning, always in the playoffs? And you could do that. You could make this ballsy move to start this rookie and give him a chance with the veteran on the bench. You know, this is the National Football League. This isn't, B-par where everyone, deserves a chance. Yes, because Dak Prescott got his chance, but he didn't just get put into the game because he had to be put in. He took advantage of his opportunity, and look what he's doing. So with Tony Romo coming back, I personally think Dak Prescott should be a starter. Just solely on the base because they're winning. And he's spreading the ball out enough to where they open up the running game for Ezekiel Elliott to just kill it like he's doing right now. So I think the Cowboys need to hurry up and make a decision before Romo even comes back. They just need to go ahead and get this all over with. Because Prescott seems poised, but he pays attention to the media. And the media sure does pay attention to him. And they are praising him so much for turning down free Kanye West tickets to catch more sleep and to turn down a bunch of endorsement deals for this week's bye week because he wants to go home and spend time with his grandmother. And that's the type of person you want leading your football team. You want someone who is dedicated to football and caring about other people. You don't want someone like someone who goes and does endorsements whenever they could be, endorsements aren't bad. Making money, good. Go ahead and make more. I don't care. But what I was really impressed was the free Kanye West tickets. So, because he had practice the next morning, he wanted to get extra sleep. That's the type of player you want leading your football team. And I just see so much in Dak Prescott already that I think he's going to be an incredible football player in the next 10 years. And the Cowboys cannot let that go. I think it's Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott has said that this is Tony's team. So he already has in his head that when Romo comes back, that he's going to be on the bench. And again, I don't see a problem with that either. But if I'm a Cowboy fan, just know the security blanket you have behind Romo is there, and that y'all, no matter who's at quarterback for y'all, I think if Romo is at quarterback, y'all are still a Super Bowl contending team, just the way this team is playing this year. So that's my rant about this whole Cowboy situation. So I'm so happy for Dak how well he's doing, because I love seeing people from this area succeed in anything that they do. It's great. So I'm a Texan fan, but I'm slowly becoming a Cowboy fan just because of Dak, and just because I want to see him do well. So thank y'all for joining, and God bless.